Hi, Coveters. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're super excited to be here live in New York City with the incredible designers of Badgley Mischka, Mark and James, who just debuted their Spring-Summer 2023 collection live on the runway at New York Fashion Week, in what was the first return to an in-person runway in 2.5 years. So congrats and thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Excited to have
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for being here.
Awesome. We did want to start by just reminding all of our viewers who are tuning in today to please keep the chat respectful, so your comments and questions focused on all things fashion or topics that we cover here today. And with that, I think we're ready to get started. So to introduce myself, I'm Jordan. I'm the head of brand partnerships for Covet Fashion, which means that I have the pleasure of working alongside a team of 3 to oversee the partnerships with over 150 fashion brands. So we work with amazing designers such as yourselves, the marketing, e-commerce, PR teams, to digitally render the seasonal collections that you see then in-game that our audience and community are able to shop and style with. And so this is part of one of our favorite aspects of the job, is that we get to have these digital and in real life events to work with our brand partners and give our community access to things like Fashion Week, which is incredible. So on that note, today, we're gonna give you an insider's look at some of Mark and James and Covet's favorite looks from the spring-summer runway. And so to start, I think we want to hear a little bit more about the inspiration in general of the collection. So can you share what inspired you for the spring-summer 23 season?
Of course.
Absolutely. We were finally able to travel this past year, which we have not really traveled overseas for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we've always taken travels in our mind while we were not able to travel physically. And we finally got to go to Morocco this summer, and got to go to Casablanca and Marrakesh, which are 2 of our favorite places in the world in our minds. We got to go there physically and actually got inspired by it. So we were inspired by going to Marrakesh, seeing the Medina, which is the market there, seeing the colors, the smells, the fabrics, the textures. The whole idea of being there was so inspirational to us for this season.
It's true. We really wanted to lead our women, down a path of extremely inspirational clothing that was happy.
That was the operative word, was happy this season.
Yeah, colorful,
Yeah.
and more than anything, optimistic.
Yeah.
And James and I will oftentimes work in a neutral palette, but there's nothing.
Right.
Yeah, look at us.
Usually that's me too.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's not, especially for evening clothes, there's nothing like working in high color. It's just very emotional. We find more and more and more when we do, whether it's event dressing, celebrity dressing, whatever, the person is always like, oh, I remember her in that beautiful tangerine colored dress.
Totally.
In a peculiar way, you're not remembering a person in a black dress. You know what I'm saying? Always.
Right.
And so evening, just more than ever, a woman is just screaming for color. And Africa, Morocco is certainly the most amazing inspiration, for that reason.
Totally. I mean, look at this wall of color behind us, and I think everyone does need a little bit of optimism right now.
Absolutely.
So what a welcome back to the runway. We're curious, so do you typically book a flight, someplace you want to travel, and the inspiration comes naturally, or do you kind of book your travel with the intention of designing a collection?
I would say we end up going places by mistake, is how it usually happens. We go for work, we go to China for work, we go to India for work, we go to France for work, we go to Italy for work, and we're like, okay, we have a couple extra days, let's go here instead, let's go to this other destination, or let's go to, instead of we're going to China, we go to Thailand instead. It's like that kind of thing is a total serendipitous inspiration for us.
Yeah.
We don't plan it out. You can't plan your inspiration. It has to just happen.
Yeah, we're spontaneous, I think. There's a lot of those people that are amazing at just, micromanaging every little detail when they travel, and they know where they're going to eat and where they're going to stay.
Yeah, not us.
Itinerary,
yeah. The itinerary. We're not that way. We just
No.
wing it. That's just sort of how we roll. But that's like how we travel. And every time we get somewhere, we start to fantasize. My God, do you think we could ever live here?
Well, Mark's big thing is he talks. He calls a realtor wherever we go. So
Love
I
it.
love to look at places. We're gypsies. We've had 30 homes together.
Oh, wow.
So the idea of a new frontier doesn't intimidate us. So,
I love that.
we're not.
it's not a pre-planned inspiration by any means.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. I think not having an itinerary allows you to just stumble on some gems that you may not have otherwise.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
amazing. Well, I think it's time to take a closer look at some of the amazing pieces that walked the runway earlier today. So we're going to have our amazing social media and community manager, Alyssa, come out and help us and show some of these gorgeous spring pieces.
Great.
So we'd love to hear, about just kind of your inspiration in general and how this piece came to life.
You know, this is our ode just to a gorgeous Grace Kelly silhouette. It's a beautiful print. This is a print that we draw in our studio, and we had it printed on this gorgeous satin chiffon. We thread a beautiful Lurex thread through these piece goods, so there's like a beautiful luster to it, and it's a beautiful little ballerina, a gorgeous little carved out bodice, balloon sleeve. She's diaphanous, she's weightless. We actually showed a crinoline under her so that she really held a beautiful, beautiful shape. And it's just a beautiful spring ball gown.
A little bit of sparkle at the shoulder, which we always love.
Yes.
And the fabulous belt bringing her in at the waist.
It's a beautiful event dress. It's a beautiful, in our industry, it's called MOB, a beautiful mother of the bride.
Right.
Or mother of the groom.
Or
too.
mother of the groom.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
And she'll be a major gown for us this season. I just love her.
It was so flattering
I
on the
love
model.
the print.
Amazing. So we'll move on to our next piece. So hard to choose because it was such an incredible collection.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so it looks like a cocktail number.
This is one of our first dresses out of the gate this morning. It was like
Right.
number 3 or 4 this morning. It's a print inspired by the gardens of Marrakesh. It's also inspired by some wallpapers we have from Italy and England in our apartment. But the colors are inspired by the Medina, by Marrakesh. And then this fabulous octopus pleated taffeta ruffle on the crepe gown, crepe dresses, we think is so much fun. It's going to be a really important dress for us. Our customers we've already got a bunch of orders on this from customers who just saw it on the computer today. It was like kind of a ridiculously popular dress out of the gate.
Amazing.
It's really pretty how this crystal pleated ruffle spirals across the body. It's very flattering.
Totally.
Easy to wear. This fabric is stretch. So even though it looks very couture and very structured, it's actually quite comfortable and a great little sexy cocktail dress to run around in. But these conversational prints are really popular right now.
Yep.
For years, Badgley Mischka was just worked in solids and beading, and now we do tons and tons of prints.
Yes, we do.
Do you typically start with the print or like the color or the silhouette itself?
The print.
Yeah.
The nature of the industry, you fabricate your collection a year before you really start working on it, just because of the lead times.
Right.
That sad thing we keep talking about.
Reality. Yeah.
Supply chain
Yeah.
Also like,
is
yeah.
slower than ever. So we really get started on collections really, really, in advance now.
Out of necessity, yeah, makes sense. Amazing.
And that's a really important thing too, is we use our couture looking fabrics, which we've been using for years and years and years, which our customers love, but they have to be infused with a modern twist now. You can't just use an old fashioned couture fabric because first of all, they're usually heavy. They require a lot of construction. They don't really feel like good on the body. So we put stretch in our fabrics. We infuse a little bit of Lurex in our chiffons. There's a little bit of just, when you feel the fabrics, you realize how modern they are compared to the old fabrics. They look the same, but they work in a modern way, which our backgrounds were in sportswear, and our entire collection feels like sportswear on the body, which is what's, I think, important to our customer.
This, for example, is a beautiful, again, shiny chiffon. And it really, for the most part, when it just came back from our runway show downtown, it came out of the coffin, out of the
Box.
the boxes that we ship in. They're called coffins.
Yeah.
It's not, kind of a depressing term, but the fabric doesn't really wrinkle, which is great because a woman can sit at a black tie and stand up and she's not all crushed.
Right.
But I love this gown, the way it's just sort of glows, and it's like lettuce, that beautiful bias drape, one shoulder, beautiful draping. It's all just suspended by this gorgeous little corset that's very comfortable in stretch, and it's draped beautifully. It's a real couture gown. I love this dress.
It's just kind of glimmering in the light too. It catches your eye.
Yeah, it's beautiful under evening light. It's an amazing jewelry dress. It's just an amazing compliment to a beautiful piece of jewelry.
On that note, while Alyssa grabs the next dress, we do, I know, have these shoes of the season that all of the models were wearing on the runway. How do you go about kind of pairing the right accessories, jewelry, shoes with the right dress?
It's a fun situation. So we started the shoes actually before the clothes. We even started the shoes because they take a longer time to make them because of supply chain issues, like Mark said. But we were so excited about using these shoes this season. We chose one silhouette for the entire season. This platform, chunky heel shoe, very 70s inspired, from one of our favorite designers from the 70s who we were inspired by from Morocco when we were there. We thought it was just a great compliment. It looks modern. It looks retro, modern. And what's one of the most important things, the models loved the shoes.
Comfortable.
So comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, we're known for 4-inch stilettos, which are, obviously not that comfortable. And a lot of events,
fun
weddings,
to look at, not fun to wear.
Yeah,
Right.
to wear. And when you're out at a garden party or an outdoor wedding, you're really just sinking in.
Grass.
Grass.
Yeah.
I know, absolutely.
So these are a breath of fresh air, and
This one
and they're not really
Gorgeous.
that retro looking. There's something still modern looking.
Totally
about
modern,
them.
yeah.
So it's a nice combination. So we just decided to update our accessories, our look, our shoes with this beautiful open toe chunky sandal throughout the entire collection, which we never do. We usually show an assortment. But that's the most fun part about styling the show. You work on the show for 6-9 months, and the last few minutes, we bring in all of our jewelry and all of our shoes and all of our belts and sunglasses. We even brought in all of our fake
Nails.
that we had colored towards the collection, just as
Amazing.
a fun detail.
All of the little details just
Yeah.
come
Yes,
together.
They really do. This gown.
Talk about fun, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She's all the original sample is all hand dyed. It's a beautiful degradé from this gorgeous marigold down to the pale oyster color, and crystal pleated. And then we thread a little wire through the hem, so there's this beautiful play. So it really gives we call this. There's several of these it's from the octopus series, and we had just tiptoed into this look and had tremendous success with it. So we really built it up this season, and they're some of our favorite gowns.
Our customers love octopus details.
Yeah.
It's fun, and it's a feast to the eyes. It has beautiful movement.
Exactly.
And again, it's weightless, and I just think the girls said they're just fun to wear.
I was wondering how those perfect ruffles just kind of flow out as they're walking down the runway.
Yeah,
It's
you
amazing.
don't do that without a little help.
Right. We all need a little help.
That's for sure.
This one was
This
definitely
is
an eye catcher.
one of my very favorites on the runway for us is this fantastic pebbled organza jacquard in the oyster and the lemon yellow and the gold metallic. It's a fantastic fabric. It's a fantastic silhouette.
It's this beautiful pebbled cloquet. We do this out of Paris with this beautiful jacquard in the lemon and gold. It's very romantic. The belt is floating around here somewhere. It's got a million little petals dripping off of it. Weightless. I mean, it's just nothing. But there's
Literally
a
weightless, yeah.
huge sweep in this, and we showed this over at crinoline just for a huge ball gown shape, but you don't have to show it that way. balloon sleeves, still an important moment in fashion for sleeve detail. But this will be a really beautiful dress for us for spring.
So beautiful. And I love the balloon sleeve detail.
I know,
It's so
it's so
flattering.
flattering.
Amazing. And I think we have one more piece that we're going to pull out and walk through. And then we
Great. hopefully
have time for a Q&A. Too many to choose from.
There's a lot to choose from, but yeah, we can do anything you want. But yeah.
And how do you go about narrowing down while you're...
Well, that's the thing. Our collection is hundreds of pieces,
Yeah,
and we can only show 40 on the runway. It's like the most we can show is about 40, and we have literally hundreds to choose from.
It's like that old famous movie, Sophie's Choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you choose?
Where you pick your
Yeah.
favorites. And
Ugh.
it's the time where it gets the most emotional. I love that dress.
And when we
Heartbreaking.
choose
Yes.
different ones sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Not often, but sometimes we choose different ones. We have
Yeah.
a little battle to the death on that.
To the death.
You have the worst taste. How can you not love that dress? And I love this one. You've got to have this, so it gets very fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A battle.
But
Love
we're still both here, so we're good.
it. Made it through. Awesome. Well, maybe I was wrong. I think I counted wrong in my head, but I guess it's time for our Q&A. So we did pre-source some questions from the Covet community prior to this that we'd love to hear your thoughts on. So the first is, what is the fashion trend that is most overdue for a break?
Well, it's very easy for James and I to sit in our ivory tower and pull this one out of the hat, but there's this charming trend that my niece, girls in our office wear. It's that sort of high-waisted, heavy denim jean, flared over a big clunky boot.
You can break it apart and that works, but
Right.
together we don't like it.
And
Fair.
everyone wears it.
It's
it's
true.
a huge trend. You see it and go. It's practical.
Comfortable.
Weather, it's so comfortable.
Right.
And every other girl is wearing it. And maybe we're just old fashioned, but it's just not our thing.
Not the most flattering, I don't think.
Not
Comfortable
flattering.
for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how
That's what we're
gorgeous-
saying. Is you can break it apart. You can wear the jeans themselves. You can wear the clunky boots themselves.
we
But
just-
together, it's just too.
And we just had 40 models
it's a
that
heavy
just
thing.
came into hair and makeup.
Wearing all
early
that.
this-
Right,
Yeah.
Every
right.
one of them was dressed like that, like a uniform.
Right.
It's an important trend. It's just not one of our favorites.
Fair. Totally fair. On the other side of that, what trend from spring 2023 are you most excited about?
I think for us, it's about the color again. We've been everyone's been a little bit safe for a while because of everything that's been going on in the whole world situation. I think our customers are really dying for color. We saw a little bit of it from the past spring when we did a little bit of color, and it was really well received. And I think our customers are actually even from our friends' response today after the show, it's like
Yeah.
they're so excited about the color. And
Well, for a long
really
time,
good.
fine apparel, expensive clothes, that fashion customer, she was rather discreet and she really wore neutrals.
Mhm.
And now I think you see a lot of fine apparel in a very colorful palette.
Right.
I think that's really, really nice. But I also think what's nice in fashion today, when James and I started decades ago, their trends were so important. And
Right.
if you missed that trend, it was
You're out.
major. You were out.
If you didn't have brown that season,
Yeah, and
No.
and if short was the trend, every woman you saw on the street was wearing short, or every woman was in a blazer with big shoulder pads. I mean, it's different now. There's so many trends, and in a weird way, it almost means like there isn't trends.
Right.
It's great for customers because there's so much selection.
so many options.
And
Yeah.
if a trend isn't working for them, they just move on to the next.
On to the
one,
next. Yeah.
you know? And there's so many voices in fashion. It's with
All
social
the
media,
information.
and,
Right.
there's just so much information out there that it's not funneled, into such a
Yeah, with the rise of the influencer, I mean, everyone can post content and
Mhm.
anything can go
Absolutely.
viral.
That's-
So
yeah, anything goes.
right, exactly. Awesome. Do you ever find yourself in a creative rut? And if so, what do you do to get out of it?
I think every designer does.
Yeah.
From point, James and I, we opened 140 collections last year.
Wow.
Between all of our ready-to-wear collections, and we do
Accessories, shoes,
bags,
jewelry,
shoes,
fine jewelry,
this, that.
perfumes, handbags, swimsuit. It's
know,
like everything we do.
What don't
bridal.
you do?
It,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it really adds up. You just get. So yeah, we escape. You have to. You absolutely have to. I know what your escape is.
I think we escape more internally though, because because of our workload and our thing, we can't really go away. We can't take 6 months off. Doesn't
Right.
happen. So we escape more internally. Mark escapes from riding and from doing outdoor activities. I work on our house, or I go through cooking spells and like that kind of thing. So we
a lot of people have to go for a really flamboyant.
and we have mini escapes too.
Vacation.
We have like, okay, one day we go do something, and like it can totally revitalize you. We find.
I think
Right.
your escape
Right?
is I think your escape is the kitchen. He's
Yeah.
an amazing cook, and he's very
With
Creative.
day in and day out.
some people
Love
gotta fly to another place in the world.
Country,
and
yeah.
he just walks down the hall and goes into the kitchen. I think he gets the same thing out of it. I like outdoors. That's what gets me. We live down in Palm Beach. We live on the ocean. If I can just take a walk on the beach and clear my head, then we just go back at it.
Yeah, I think all of those are perfect coming out of the pandemic. You're forced to kind of find these
Yeah.
small
Yeah,
escapes.
You do.
So
You really do.
Yeah.
Find out, just find these little ways that make it work.
yeah, especially having such an insane schedule, I think those times are so precious when you're kind of allowed to step back and
Yes.
enjoy something else. Amazing. Our coveters are a huge fan of also Badgley Mischka Bride. Are there any bridal trends that you're really excited about?
I think it's a moment of romance
Yeah, I think
and
so, too.
fantasy. I think that, just the stark architectural white, simple wedding dress has been pushed aside a little bit. And I think, the bride she's looking for a gown that really has the character of her personality. That's something that's just, not cookie cutter. She wants something special.
There was a little while when brides were choosing dresses that were more simple, more pared down because they were getting married during a difficult time.
Yeah.
Streamlined.
And a lot of
Yeah.
now weddings that have been pushed off from then, or people who've already been married, they want to get married again in a more extravagant, more elaborate piece. It's all about romance and fantasy for bridal for us and for all of our brides that we know.
Right. And what a rewarding category to design for, just to
It's
be.
so much fun.
Yeah, their biggest day of their life.
It was
It's
always
very
like, we
fun.
always said, it's like, we've done a lot of dresses for award shows, as you know.
Right.
And that's the one time when you always know you will get the award that night when you get married.
Yes.
You get
It's
that
a
guy,
lot.
you get that
Yeah.
guy or that girl, whoever you're marrying, you win.
Doing a
Right,
wedding dress
exactly.
is a lot like red carpet celebrity dressing, because that's her.
Big moment to
That's-
shine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, exactly. No
Absolutely.
pressure.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's it. That went by so quickly. Thank you so much for joining us, especially during your insanely busy Fashion Week schedule. It was so cool to get a behind-the-scenes look at your gorgeous collection. It was an amazing runway. I did want to remind the community to check out the Badgley Mischka runway show on badgleymischka.com. It was amazing to see, so I highly recommend. We also have a Covet and Badgley Mischka animated runway. So you'll see some avatars strut their stuff in pieces from our archives or our past 4 years of partnership, and then ending with some of the spring-summer 23 designs that just debuted on the runway, which is
fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
So
Great.
that is on the Covet Fashion YouTube page. We also have a special diamond sweepstakes that will be live on our Facebook page tomorrow. So remember to enter. Going live this evening is our in-game Covet Fashion Week Badgley Mischka challenge. So they'll get to style with the spring-summer 23 collection, the shoes of the season. And so make sure that you're entering your look there. I think that's it. We're really excited that you took this time to spend with us, and congrats on an amazing show. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Come see us again.
Bye, everyone.